chronic pain is all in your head. What? You heard me right. It's all in your head, but not in the way that you might think. So let's talk about it. Technically, pain is all in your head, but it's not a head case thing. It's not a mental issue directly. Mental health can affect it, but it's not everything. What I mean by that is all of the pain processing comes from our brain. Our body will send signals, okay? So whenever we touch something that's hot, or if we overload our knee when we're walking up the stairs, we get a change. We may get a temperature change or a pressure change or a movement change, chemical change if we're dealing with inflammation, or a combination of them, and that sends a strong message up to the brain, and the brain decides whether pain is necessary or not. Now, sometimes the brain thinks it is necessary because this is way more than what we're used to, and I want you to be aware of it, so then you'll get a pain response. And what happens when a body part hurts? You look at it, you think about it, you try to figure out what's going on, what's causing the issue. With chronic pain, there's an issue with that pain processing system. So it could be the way your brain's processing things, or it could be the sensitive nervous system. But today I want to talk about what's going on in the brain. When you've had pain for a long period of time, typically 6 months or longer, your brain's going to form a habit. But now we know that habits actually can form within 30 days. So I would argue that some chronic pain can start as early as 30 days. So let's think about your initial injury. If it was 4 years ago, you've been dealing with pain for almost 4 years completely. Does that mean your injury's still there? Not necessarily, but your brain is still interpreting the information it's getting as an issue, as a problem, as dangerous. So we need to reprogram our brain. We need to have our brain not be on hyper alert and start thinking about that pain all the time. So with these habits, they form and we gotta break it, like any habit. So let's talk about a habit that can form. Let's talk about writing with your hand. Let's say you write kind of funky. Let's say you put the pen right here and you kind of wrap all the way around it. And that's what you've been doing for years. But all of a sudden, you want to change that. You want to start writing with the pen in between your index finger, middle finger, and your thumb, and start writing the normal way, whatever normal means. If you do that, how do you do it? Well, you consciously think about it. You think, okay, I'm going to place it right here. I'm going to put it between my finger, my thumb, and my index finger, and I'm going to write nice and slow, try to get used to it. But what happens one day when you just need to write something down real quick? What are you going to do? You grab that pen or pencil and you put it back to the normal way, your normal way. And you start writing it in the old-fashioned way and you think, oh crap, I don't want to do that. I want to fix it. I want to put it here. You had to recognize it. But why did you grab it the old way? Because a habit was formed. And if you write a lot and you've been doing it for years, that's a really strong habit in your brain. Pain is no different. Pain can happen as an automatic response to a certain stimuli. It could be a certain movement. Maybe you have pain every time you bend forward to pick something up. Well, that motion, that motor program is attached to a pain signal as well. So we have to consciously change it. We have to move in a different way. We have to find a new way for our brain not to all of a sudden think of it as a noxious stimuli, as an issue. And that starts by simply doing the movement to a comfortable range. So if you have a 5 out of 10 just standing there and you go to bend forward and you bend really far forward, if that causes you to go from a 5 to a 10, you're bending too much. We want to bend just a little bit. You want to bend a little bit forward, get to maybe a 7 on the pain scale, come back up. And then stop for a second, and then do it again. So the reason why doing it again is so important, because you're breaking up that habit. Your brain is so used to you doing something one time and then stopping, it's not prepared for that increase in information. So you do it again. Go to that 7, come back up. Brain's thinking about it a little bit differently. Then you do it again, come back up. But remember, only go to a 2-point increase. The interesting thing that you're going to find is that each time you're able to bend a little bit further because your brain's no longer deeming it as a problem. It's saying, wait a second, this is different. Maybe this is okay. You're breaking up that habit. You're breaking up that habit of that chronic pain and that pain signal going automatically every time you bend forward. Or whatever it is that you do. Whether it's going up the stairs, whether it's sitting down or standing up. You have all these habits that have formed and pain is attached to it. So let's detach pain from that habit cycle and start anew. And we do that slowly. We do it consciously. Same as when you change how you're writing, you have to really think about it. And you have to train yourself to do it automatically. Because what happens when you're writing with that pencil over and over again in the new way, eventually you grab that pencil without even thinking about it and you start writing. You broke up that old habit and you've created a new one. So with chronic pain, we got to break up that old habit, break pain away from it, create a new habit where pain isn't associated with it. So let's form some new habits. So if you liked what you saw today, click that like button, hit subscribe, share this with somebody you think you can relate to it. And this is with any habit, right? Anytime you're forming a new habit, you got to break up the old habit. So it may not be related to pain, but a lot of people are dealing with that. So if you know somebody that's dealing with it, send it to them, put it in your favorites, watch this video. You got to reprogram your brain to completely think about pain differently. Once you do that, you're on the right path to getting that pain to go away permanently. So let's work on that. Thanks for watching.